Hey, Big Brother fans. Well, on tonight's heavily edited CBS episode, Julie Chen Moonves is going to reveal the AI instigator that America chose to wreak havoc in the House. In the meantime, there have already been tears and controversy instigated inside the BB26 house, even before we know who's the culprit. We're going to talk about the top suspect and why Angela Murray's name is on the mouth of everybody in the BB house about this instigator. So they're also calling it the hacker, by the way. I don't know if they gave them the official name yet. So we ran a poll on our official Twitter, and the vote fell along the lines of other polls in terms of top choices. We looked at the primary suspects America would have considered and asked our followers who they voted for, not who they think it is, but who they actually voted for. And you know, on Twitter, you can only have 4 choices. We had Tucker, Angela, Quinn, and Joseph on the poll because they are the ones that have come in at the top of other polls I've seen that had all the house guests. So I only took the top 4 there. And here's the results of our poll. So 4th place was Quinn Martin with just under 12% of those voting saying they chose him. 3rd place was Angela, surprisingly, with just over 14% of the votes. 2nd place was Joseph Rodriguez with just over 35%, but most of our Twitter voters said they chose Tucker Des Lauriers, and he got almost 39% among those polled. So if you have not heard, and I'm guessing we're going to see some of these on Sunday's episode, hopefully, the first AI instigator incident happened on Friday. Looks like they used an avatar of Quinn and said Rabina should have been evicted instead of Cedric, that Tucker and Rabina are in a showmance, and that was exposed, that they were secretly holding hands. And of course, Leah told everybody more than that because she said Tucker ripped into his box of condoms. She's the condom auditor of the house, apparently. The instigator also said Pentagon for life and mentioned the 5 Points Alliance. So they took aim at the people left in the alliance, which is Quinn and Cam. Are they the only ones left from Pentagon? And there was a second instigator event on Saturday. This may have been the 3rd. I know there have been 3, but I think the second one was on Saturday at around 4 p.m. And this time it was saying nice things about Angela and Rabina. And that led to an intense conversation in the HOH room where Quinn, T-Core, and Rabina were discussing that Angela may be the instigator. So Leah, Quinn, Cam, Joseph are all saying they think it's Angela. I don't know how much they believe that. They've got motives. And Mackenzie has also been saying it was Angela. And then Leah went to Rabina and T-Core saying she thinks Angela is the instigator. And then there was a 3rd AI instigator event. I haven't been able to find details yet. But one of either the 2nd or 3rd instigator events had Angela as the avatar that was chosen to spill some tea. So Tucker is working very hard this week while he is on the block. He took a punishment so it wouldn't land on T-Core, which also allowed her to take a $5,000 cash prize. That was a very smart move. So now Tucker is in a unitard looking up things in a set of encyclopedias whenever Big Brother demands it. Silly stuff like looking up what are the 4 types of blue cheese. I only know Roquefort. I didn't even know there were 3 other types. I don't like blue cheese. Anyway, the voice came, I'm hungry, and then wanted to know the types. One of his lookup tasks was which British royal was the first to live in Buckingham Palace. When he was sleeping, he was woken up in the dark as Big Brother demanded to know 5 types of media you can use to make a sculpture. I'm running all these over in my head. One of the questions was something like, how many square foot are in an acre? And Leah and Angela apparently knew that off the top of their heads. Angela, it makes sense because she's a realtor and they always give lot size in square footage and in acreage. So that's right in her wheelhouse. And apparently Leah said that she got chastised for giving him an answer. No one can help him. He has to go look it up in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Where did they even find one of those? Do they even make them anymore? Anyway, so Angela who's another top suspect, and the name being bandied around the house, she had a very intense punishment, and this actually caused her some problems in this instigator suspicion around the house. I'll tell you about it. Angela had to do this because if she didn't complete the task, she would be barred from the next head of household competition. So she had this bright yellow, like hazmat type coverall with a nuclear symbol on it, transparent when wet, by the way, and she had to clean up a toxic spill. It was these 1,000 green balls she had to grab with this little grabber device and walk one at a time from one side of the backyard to the other. We've seen backyard punishments like this, moving things around that take hours and hours. It's grueling. So the main problem, because Leah and others are pushing Angela as the AI instigator to the other house guests, is how long this punishment took that kept Angela out of game talk. So Quinn and some others were rotating in and out to be supportive of her. Some would go to nap, then would get back up to support her. And while Angela was in the yard, it gave plenty of time for Joseph, Quinn, and Leah to drop her name to anybody who would listen. She was busy toting balls from about 10 p.m. Saturday night up until 7 a.m. Sunday. So that was really problematic because that's 9 hours for people trying to push her as the instigator to have free reign in the house. Tucker, interestingly, seems to not be a top suspect among the other house guests when he absolutely should be. And, the instigator outing his and Rubina's showmance could have been him admitting something that a lot of the house already knew to throw suspicion off of him, the same way he saved T-Core from a punishment and let her win money. Tucker may be just throwing attention off himself in a very smart way, not only for the vote on Thursday, but also because of this instigator twist. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if the house guests dropping Angela's name out of their mouths as the instigator actually think it's her or not. Quinn and Cam and Joseph, they just want to keep Leah off the block, and Leah wants to keep herself off the block. So she's got these guys thoroughly gaslit, and so they're pushing Angela as the instigator to get her to be the renom instead of Leah. Last I heard from T-Core, she was still considering Leah, but if the bespelled males keep pushing Angela's name to save Leah, then yeah, Angela may go up. I mean, even Chemo and Tucker are considering pushing for Angela as the renom, although they did agree they don't want to put her on the block unless they know they have the votes to get her out. So to me, Angela actually seems the least likely at this point of being the AI instigator, but Leah's love-struck band of simps keep pushing this. As a matter of fact, Quinn and Joseph had a conversation that Joseph wanted to have before he went into isolation, which it looks like he may have just gone into isolation a little while ago for 24 hours. And some people misinterpreted that talk as Joseph telling Quinn he's the instigator. That's not what happened. Joseph was telling Quinn to keep up the pressure while he is locked away for 24 hours on Angela being the instigator. So Angela should be the renom. He wants him to keep the wave going because Joseph's not going to be around to do his efforts to protect Leah. Joseph said he would explain things to him later. Maybe this is about, having Tucker and Chemo in on this as well. So we'll see. But, Quinn, I think, would have absolutely been a fun and just really devious instigator, but I do not think America likes him enough to give him pot stirring power. He was America's renom, which tells me America wants him out of the house. I see on, Big Brother social media, a lot of people really don't like him. He's very polarizing. It's like love or hate. And Tucker and Joseph definitely are the top choices. I think the instigator would be more fun and clever if it were Joseph, but just based on comments from the instigator, to me, it sounds more like Tucker. Exposing his and Rubina's showmance is a red flag. But then, Tucker was having to wipe Rubina's tears when she was boo-hooing about it. So another instigator message came in saying nice things about Angela and Rubina. That is a red flag that it might be Tucker trying to put a Band-Aid on his girlfriend's hurt feelings. Of course, we're going to find out tonight on Sunday's CBS episode who America voted for as the AI instigator. But for now, it definitely feels like Tucker is the top candidate. And he might be throwing off Rubina also and really trying to keep this secret, because Tucker was talking to her on Saturday. I'm trying to think if they were in the backyard or in the house. He said he wished America would give him a power, making it clear, oh, I don't have one. And Rubina told him about America's favorite player and says she thinks Tucker would get that. And he's like, oh, what's that? And Rubina tells him, you get $50,000. I have seen Tucker explaining game things about Big Brother to clueless Rubina off and on for the past couple of weeks. So I do not think there's any way Tucker didn't know what America's favorite player was. AFP is a standard. So I just wonder if Rubina is getting a little dose of Tucker playing dumb with her to throw her off any possible scent of him as the instigator, because he knows Rubina talks to a lot of people. So he may be throwing out false info to throw her off of him, just if she even thinks maybe he's the instigator. Of course, we will know tonight. So come back for more spoilers, news, and live feeds, insights into Big Brother 26 right here.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.